Hey, good morning, everyone. How is everyone this morning? So we're going to do a live color along this morning for with a page from Color Along Volume 13, and we will have. I'm using markers today. I'm going to use my IO. Do I even say that right? IO markers. I'm going to use the bolding technique. Maybe I'll pull in some colored pencils too, just to kind of shake things up. A lot of people are already here this morning, so crazy Monday, 13th of January. Hey everyone. Can you believe we're already 13 days into 2020? I honestly cannot. I feel like 2020 has been around for like way longer than 13 days. I don't know. Hey, good morning, Alexandria. Good morning, Alice. Mary Hannah's joined us this morning. Jean, good morning, Jean. Good morning, Lynn. Hey, Cheryl, what's going on? Hello, Chris. Hello, Carrie. Well, good afternoon, Carrie. How are you, Carrie? Mary Ann's with us this morning. Good morning, Mary Ann. So, hey, big shout out to everyone that colors and posts their coloring pages on not only my coloring group, but other coloring groups. There was a post this morning in one of the groups that talked about people. They felt like they joined a coloring group, and the expectation that they had with these groups was not what they thought. They thought that people would be very active. I'm just gonna get some colored pencils. They thought people would be very active, and that there'd be a lot more interaction. What do you all think about that? I think that, I'm just going to tell you my 2 cents. I think that, that for every one person that makes a comment, whether it's negative, well, don't even get me started on negative, but for every one person that makes a comment, that there's like 10 or 12 people that that feel the same way but have not commented. So I just think that maybe people are shy, that they don't want to make a comment. I think that a lot of people color and that they don't post their pages because they're shy, because they're afraid of the criticisms. I also think that people are afraid to comment too much because they're afraid they're going to get banned. I also think that a lot of people... I'm okay, Alice. Why do you ask? I'm in a different chair. That's my big thing today. I have a chair issue in this room. I think that a lot of people are lurkers in coloring groups, and I think that those people that are lurking are benefiting by lurking and watching and looking. I can tell by how many people are viewing live on a Facebook Live video versus how many people maybe have viewed it at the end and maybe how many viewers we had. And then people that make a comment while I'm live and say something. So I don't know. What do you all think about that? I think that you shouldn't get discouraged if you are putting things on coloring groups and nobody is saying anything to you and no one's saying a nice thing. The other thing is that, people are quick to say something negative before they're ready to say something positive. Don't you think? I mean, I find that with book reviews. I also find with book reviews that people will say things about a book. And someone left a comment the other day on my 3D variety coloring book, and they said there's not worth the money. There is nothing 3D about this book. What did they expect? Did they expect the drawings or the images to jump off the page and walk across the page? I mean, I don't understand what they expected or what they thought 3D meant. So sometimes people will make comments without really having any knowledge about what they're even criticizing or commenting. So I don't know. So you're a lurker. I see Alexandria's a lurker. So I'm glad you brought that up, Alexandria. So Alexandria's saying, she's admitting, my name is Alexandria Sullivan and I am a lurker. However, Alexandria, you share a lot of posts. You share a lot of my videos. So that's contributing, and you do interact. You watch these videos, so you don't have to post every single thing, right? Lynn says, I often don't post until I finish the book. Yeah, you know what? It's a lot of work to post. And then you don't want to post too much. And even I don't make a lot of comments about maybe things that people are... good morning, Bonnie Miller. Oh, good morning, Mamie. I don't even make a lot of comments sometimes about what people are putting of my own pages because I'm afraid I'm going to end up in my Facebook hiatus. And I don't want that to happen. So... Maybe I draw less books lately because I'm not on a Facebook hiatus. Oh, please don't use that as any type of fuel to get me to go on one. Let me tell you. Um, so I'm putting a page behind here because this is the page we're working on. This is from Comforting Mandala's Grief Healing coloring book. It's one of 2 coloring books that I have that are grief healing. And I mean, hey Melody, this really isn't all about, I mean, grief. We think about grief when someone passes, someone dies. But I think it could also be grief when it comes to maybe ending something, ending a relationship with someone, whether it's a romantic relationship or it's a friendship or a relationship, maybe you just don't see a family member, whatever type of thing. Chris is saying some days I am more in the chatty mood than others. Me too, right? It happens to everyone. We don't have to all be chatty Cathys all the time, every single day. So I think that it's interesting how many people were actively commenting about this person's post and comment about people not being in the chatty mood. You have to refresh. Gene needs to refresh. Refresh, Gene. Does anyone else lose a sound? So I have this page here, Comforting Mandalas, and we're going to work on the bolding technique. The bolding technique is all about kind of outlining and adding lines to the lines that are there. And I have this 80 pack of IO markers. So this is just kind of this, what color is this one? This is called Vivid Red. So I'm going to kind of go over the line that's here. Now in the middle of the area to be colored, you could color it with a marker that is a lighter color, so maybe a light pink in the middle. Or I could go jump right into my colored pencils. Trish is here with us this morning. Good morning, Trish. So 2 more weeks till coloring camp. That's going to be fun. Excited about coloring camp. So many people, so many giveaways. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. Deborah Muller's doing a giveaway with us this time from her new book called Animals in Love, I believe it's called. This is Pretty Pink from Black Widow. I'm just going to do the middle with this Pretty Pink. And Spear Farbin's doing watercolor paint. She just she gave me confirmation on that this morning. I guess she's coming out with a new set of colored pencils, but they're not ready yet. And I'm sure that she'll do something with spring coloring camp because I'm already thinking about that. Black Widow's giving away 2 sets of these skin-colored colored pencils to 1 winner. Melody Jones is creating a handmade journal. Mary Whitworth is going to give away some paparazzi jewelry. I am giving away a PDF copy of Chase the Sun, my new coloring book, Chase the Sun, inspirational coloring book. Do I have anything else to say about coloring camp? We've got a, no, I think that's it about coloring camp. The other thing that's happening is that in the Just Color coloring group, we are doing another community t-shirt if you're interested in Just Color community collage like we did. Remember those t-shirts we did last time? So if you are interested in submitting a t-shirt, an image or a finished page, one of my pages, that's the only rule, to that collage, then there's a link or a comment, a post. Where's my head? A post. On the Just Color group. Mary's asking, do we need watercolor paint for camp? No. Let me show you what we need. We need colored pencils, markers, gel pens, crayons. Oh, yes, watercolor paint. What am I thinking? We do need watercolor paint. Why do we need watercolor paint? We need watercolor paint because on the very first day, or you could use watercolor pencils. Hey, Beth Turner. On the very first day, we need watercolor for this first one called Adding Bling. And this is all about watercolor paint and glitter. And the glitter is what's going to be the bling. So that's going to be fun. So what else do we need for supplies? Colored pencils, markers, gel pens, crayons, watercolor paint, a white gel pen. That's for the disappearing lines, color along. Number 2 pencil, an eraser, tape, a glue stick, a ruler, scissors, and glitter. So that's what we need for camp. So camp is January 26th. You'll be able to watch the replay 24/7. on the Facebook group. It's going to be fun. Camp is always fun. Can you believe that I've already done, I can't even, how many camps have I done? Summer 2018, fall 2018. I did four in 2019. I've done 6 of them. This is the 7th camp. Alice says, I know people are great to give negative comments. I'd rather not get involved in comments on posts. I don't share many color pictures either. But you should, because your pictures are blow me away every time I see them. I love the textures that are used, and I love the color choices. You know, some people's color choices are really, really interesting. That's what's interesting about it. But the other thing is that some people don't like to share their color pages because people take them. Hey, Judy Esmond's here with us this morning. Good, welcome, Judy. Judy's saying, where do I find out how to get started? Well, for today's color along, is this the first time you've joined a color along, Judy? So I'm going over this with just white. Now, let's find another color to use for the other section there. And maybe I'll go with the purple. I'm kind of into the spring colors lately. I was working on a painting last night that was all spring-like colors. This little bird painting I did with flowers. And then I'm going to go inside this area with a lavender color. And I think what I'll do is use a lavender colored IO marker. Now, I love these markers. However, sometimes, I'm going to admit, I'm not going to lie, sometimes the color that says on the marker is not exactly what I would expect. But again, it's just a personal expectation. So, who am I to judge? So there's my kind of a lighter color there. So I don't know what people actually expect from coloring groups. I mean, maybe the expectation of people is too high, you know? Just like the lady who made the comment about my 3D variety coloring book. What exactly was her expectation to say to me that, to make a comment that it was not 3D enough? Not 3D enough, she said. Now, what does that mean? I mean, I don't know how much more 3D it could be. It was the 3D effect. 3D, truly 3D, would have been a three-dimensional object that was sitting there. So unless those mandalas, like, morphed into an object that was going to walk across the page, I'm not really sure what to tell that woman. It frustrates me when people leave reviews like that, or when they leave a review about the paper quality or something. Like, how am I supposed to? I can't fix the paper quality, you know. So it frustrates me sometimes. This one is called Melon Yellow. Just kind of a little doodad over that line. So we're basically making the lines bold, which is why we call it bolding. And then I'm going to use this yellow color, which is Sunburst, Black Widow Sunburst, in this area. Could also add anything else you wanted to this type of technique too. You could add some dots to it to kind of accentuate it. Like I kind of picture like maybe little dots of a different color there. Maybe at the end I'll kind of add some accents. And then I think maybe I should go with some blue. I'll go with a darker blue though. Melody says, when I color them, everyone sees the 3D. I see the 3D before I color them too, Melody. I don't know what she was talking about. It just frustrates me. Some people can leave some really negative reviews. And if I'm really in a cranky mood, I'll leave a comment back. Like, I was kind of a crank when I was reading that. And I said, I really would like to know what your expectation was with this. I don't know if I should have done that or not, but maybe I should have kept my mouth shut. You can always find something positive in someone's work. I agree, Mary. Completely agree with you. You got to accent the positive, right? You know, the world is full of all kinds of negativity that goes on these days, right? So I actually was thinking the other day about, I don't know if I can do it, but I'm toying with the idea of maybe doing kind of a live video on the days that we don't have, like I have color alongs on Mondays and draw alongs on Tuesday mornings, but I was actually thinking on like maybe on on Wednesday mornings or draw alongs. I was actually thinking that maybe on a Monday, on a Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, and even maybe a Sunday, kind of doing a live video in an early hour, like 6, 7 a.m. in the morning, just to kind of see maybe like what I'm working on, maybe if I'm doing a painting or maybe coloring from a new book. I don't know. Are people around lurking around the internet? Lurking. I'm going to say they're lurking. Are people lurking around the internet at that time? I think a lot of them are. I think a lot of people are actually active at that time. Maybe they're kind of lying in bed, looking at their phone, looking at different things that are popping up, watching. They would just kind of be lurkers while they're kind of waking up. Sometimes it pays to speak up and say something. We'll see what happens, Chris. I don't know. I got a really negative review on, and you know what? I really try hard not to read the reviews. But and that is why too, Trish is a really good comment. If you expect negativity, you will always find something negative. I try not to, I read the reviews on any of my books, but every once in a while, the evil demon inside me sneaks through and I start to look at them and then I start to feel horrible about what I'm reading. I got a really negative review on one of my coloring handbooks saying that it looked like it was all, just simply, I'm trying to remember the exact words. It was just basically photocopies of different tutorials that were stolen from the internet or taken from the internet and put into a book. Now, first of all, that's impossible. But yeah, that's what they thought. That's what the comment was. So that really was kind of like hit me. We'll see if she answers me. I don't know. Bonnie says, I'm not up at that hour. You might catch me at 1 a.m. Well, I'm not up at 1 a.m. Well, if I'm up at 1 a.m., I'm not coloring. I want to just be sleeping at 1 a.m., Bonnie. Well, what time do you wake up, Bonnie? I just want to be asleep at that time. All right, this one here is light pink. Now, I'm not sure if this is actually going to be pink. Oh, yes, it is. Okay, we'll go for it. What do you think about these colors that match the names? For those of you that have these. I know, Marianne, I know you use these a lot. I've got Scarlett next to me, chewing on her paw. Scarlett, what's going on with your paw? Let me see. Let me see. Oh, you shouldn't do that. Don't chew that. She knows exactly what I'm talking about. Hey, stop chewing that. Let me see. You shouldn't do that. Leave it alone. I don't know what's on her paw. Which set do you have, Marianne? I don't really like the smell of them sometimes, but it depends on the weather. Like if there's a high humidity. Today's not bad, but still kind of warm outside. I like to challenge myself to fill in the space. Like to be able to actually be in that, like hit the lines without going out of the lines. While I'm filling the actual area of space. That happened to anybody else? The other thing is that when you outline something with a marker, like we did here, if it's kind of like magic, that the ink will not go past where you put that outline. So if you feel like maybe you're going out of the lines sometimes with markers, try outlining it even in the same color, and then it won't go past that line. And I'm doing a second coat. Do you mix them all at all, Marianne, when you use yours? Marianne says, they can smell, but I overlook it. You're good if you can overlook it. You can overlook a smell. It's like, that stinks, but I can get past it. Hey, Pat Christie. That made me laugh, Marianne. It's like, yeah, that really stinks, but I can ignore it. I can ignore the bad smell that's happening. Oh, that's funny. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do this outer portion here. It's like, what's that smell? Oh, nothing. I'm just ignoring it. Sometimes you can't ignore a smell, though. Right? Sometimes you just can't ignore it. I'm not sure what to do for the second one. I'm kind of feeling like I should bring in maybe a deeper purple. What do you think? I'm going to go with this deep purple. This is called Ultramarine. Ultramarine to me is like a blue, but we'll see. Let's see what happens here. Oh, I guess according to IO, it is a more of a purple. I have to say, my video is much crisper today than it was yesterday when I did a live video. And it is because I use this, when I go live on Facebook, I use this app on my phone to do it. And that is what makes it crisp. Where if I just went live directly on Facebook, it doesn't really look like that. Bonnie says, I've turned into a night owl over the last couple of years. I'm usually awake by 8 a.m., but definitely not at 6. Yeah, I wake up very early. I don't know why. There was a little while where I kept waking up at 4 o'clock. I hate 4 a.m. How about you? Sometimes Paisley will get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. And I tell her that it's still night. And we need to go back to bed. So anybody watching anything good on Netflix? I just finished watching Virgin River. I was against it. I was having trouble with it. Lynn, remember I was telling you about it? I just couldn't do it. I hated it. Matter of fact, speaking of sleep, it kept putting me to sleep. But then I powered through, and I watched the rest of it, and I got through the whole series, and I finished it last night, and it was actually really good. But I don't know what to watch now. I was thinking of watching AJ and... It's that one, the series with RuPaul. Has anyone watched that with RuPaul? I don't know. It looks kind of funny. Oh, I have to read the books, Lynn. That's right. You told me about that. How many books are there for Virgin River? Because there's going to be another season coming, right? Chair. Oh, I'm watching Chair. Actually, Chris, thank you. Brain Freeze. I started watching that last night. You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of Last Chance U. Have you seen that? I don't like Fleabag. I hate it. As a matter of fact. And that show won a lot of Golden Globes. I don't like it. I don't know what I didn't like about it, but I hated it. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to hold back on my opinion here. I just didn't like it. I couldn't get past it like Marianne can get past the smell. I just couldn't get past it. I hated it. I did not like it. 20. Are there really 20 books? Oh, my goodness. I don't know if I have time to read 20 books, Lynn. I don't really read much lately, unless it's something that's like a short read, or I don't know. I find myself listening to like not even audiobooks. I find myself I'm listening to a series, a lecture series right now, and I started it last night. Actually, I was listening to it while I was painting. I'll have to check them out. Yeah, Chair is pretty good. I started watching that last night, but it reminded me of Last Chance U. Last Chance U, I could not get away from. Last Chance U was about this junior college in oh, where was it? Somewhere in the Midwest. I want to say Kansas. And it was for these football players. It was a football team. And it was just kind of a docuseries about them. And about how these kids just really, it was like their last chance to kind of make it. And most of the kids that were on this team made it to the NFL. And it was just really, it was just interesting. If anyone's interested in vampires, Dawn is telling us, Lynn is talking about Virgin River. I could never listen to a book while walking around. I would fall. Maybe coloring, I'm not really sure. Drawing. I do like listening to more of a lecture series. If anyone's interested in vampires, Dawn is telling us Netflix has a 3-part series called Dracula that was really good. It was different than all the other Dracula movie shows I've ever seen. Oh, that's a good one. I have to write this stuff down. So we're talking about Dracula, Chair. One of my real New Year goals, Mary's telling us, is to change my sleep rhythm of going to bed and waking up in a timely fashion. It's a work in progress. You know, every once in a while I do that to myself. I decide I'm going to wake up at an earlier hour. I'm going to get dressed in an earlier hour, and it lasts for maybe 3 days, and then I'm like, this ain't happening. So I don't know. Okay, so I've got this whole section here. Now I'm going to actually add some little bit of some accents to it. I guess I'll go with this dark purple, which is called ultramarine. I don't know why I put that back, but let's go with this one, see what this one is. This is vivid purple. I'm going to put some dots here. Just to kind of add some little things to it. And then maybe I'll go with this vivid red color, which is the one that was in there, but I'm not really sure. So let's go with this, which is more rose red. I'll put a dot here on top of my yellows. And then maybe here. Cheer is about cheerleaders, like a cheerleading team where they compete like a high competition. It's interesting. Wasn't bad. I mean, I saw one episode, put me to sleep. I kind of like something that makes me go to sleep. How about you? I don't really want to watch it. I really just want to I really just want to go to sleep. So that's my goal. All right, let's put some pink, or maybe we'll do the opposite, do a green. We're gonna add some green in this. This one's called yellow green. Put some yellow green here. It doesn't really look like green on top of that though, does it? And then that little guy right there needs something. Could go with the deep blue. Lynn says, I'm thinking of watching the new medical police show on Netflix. What is that? That just seems interesting. Does it have blood and gore, though? And, is it going to make me feel like, oh, my God? I was watching something the other day that came across the screen. And, I was flipping, and I raced to turn it off. It was some surgery of someone's heart or something. Really wasn't interested in seeing that. I can't wait for the draw along on Wednesday. Cheryl is saying it was so much fun. Oh, thank you for saying that, Cheryl. I'll be watching that. Which one? Medical Police. Oh, darn. I second that. I would love to sleep all night without pain too. What is the answer? Is there an answer? You know, I don't really think that there is an answer anymore. I've decided that it is just going to kind of live with me. And maybe I need to, I don't know, maybe I need to kind of embrace it. Oh, it's crazy. Restorol is the only reason I sleep. What is it, Trish? There was a comment up here that I missed that I have to grab. Trisha's saying, I have alarms to get up by the same time each day and an alarm of when I go to bed each night so I can get between 7 to 8 hours of sleep. With my mental health and physical issues, I have to do that. What time do you go to bed, Trish, and what time do you wake up? I like to go to bed I would like to be in bed at 10 o'clock and be asleep. But usually I end up at falling asleep on the couch. Liz is saying, sleep escapes me. Biofreeze at 4 a.m. is my world. I use Vicks Vapor Rub a lot for pain. I use Stop Pain. Do you use Stop Pain, Lynn Miller? I like Biofreeze, but sometimes the smell of it kind of gives me a headache. But I think that Stop Pain is kind of the same type of thing. But Vicks, sometimes one night I was so desperate that I wanted to mix everything together. I was going to mix Vapor Rub, Vicks Vapor Rub, Arnica Gel, and Aspirin Cream with Stop Pain or something. Then I thought to myself, I'll probably have some crazy allergic reaction, and now I have to go explain my crazy antics to someone at the ER, and I just felt like it was going to be way too embarrassing. Dawn's saying, mine is my hip. I try to embrace it, but my early morning wake up is every half hour because my hip is killing me. Mine is my neck. Mine is my left side of my neck and my collarbone. I try to embrace it too. And my shoulder. I go to bed way too early. Netflix shows can help that. What time do you go to bed, Chris? You mean Netflix shows can help you stay awake? Netflix shows kind of keep me up. I mean, it make me go to sleep. I like something that has a little bit of a calming music. The smell would kill me with that mixture. I don't really think I should. I didn't do it, Lynn. I like the smell of Vicks Vapor Rub though. And just if I tried using CVS brand Vicks, and I don't like it. It just didn't do the same thing. I'm going to use my favorite color carrot in here to do my background. I'm going to kind of go on the edge there. Kind of an orange. I'm going to put my pencil on its side so I can get that effect, that sort of texture. I need to start using my Voltaren gel in my oils, I guess, nightly. The Voltaren gel has no smell. I was thinking of asking my doctor for that, Dawn. I remember you told me about that. I don't know what to do anymore. I just don't know what to do. Isn't it crazy? And it's like certain foods are bad, and I don't know. It's laying stiff that's the problem. Like, I find myself getting up and stretching. We sound like we're a bunch of I feel like we're not that we're complaining, but it's good to kind of talk to other people that have it, right? That are experiencing the same thing. I used to get really upset if I couldn't sleep. Now, if I can't sleep, it's like, no big deal. Because the more you try to resist what's happening, the worse it is. Normally not later than 6. I am bored out of my mind if I stay up later. You mean after 6 p.m., Chris? What time do you wake up? It's always interesting to find out these little tidbits, isn't it? It's not embarrassing. I would love to go to sleep at 6 a.m. Trish goes to bed between 11 and 11:30, ideally, and up by 8 a.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and 7 a.m. on Tuesday mornings. Weekends are free. This is a very structured schedule, Trish. I don't know if I'd be able to do it. Ideally, I like to wake up when the sun comes up. But that doesn't happen very much around here anymore. It seems like the skies are very gray. So if I had to rely on that, I would still be in bed. Oh, 4 a.m. is early. Isn't it? Dawn says, we would make a great group if we were all in the same nursing home. I know, it would be funny, wouldn't it? Oh, that is funny. Sometimes I walk through a matter of fact, this happened to me last week. I came home and I walked in. Sometimes, when you come home, like you leave your house and then you walk into your house, you can kind of say you get a better grip or a better feel for what it smells like, right? How your house smells. Because if you're in it all the time, you can't really smell that. Does that make sense to anybody? Does anybody else have this happen to them? Anyway, I'm going to go back over all of my letters here with black. I had gone out and I came home and I said to myself when I walked in, this place smells like an old person's house. All I could smell was this muscle rub that I had used, like a Bengay style muscle rub. I was like, this is crazy. And the first time I ever used that muscle rub, I sat down next to Scarlett and she just kind of stared into space with her little ears flat to her head. And I actually didn't even realize that it was my muscle rub that was causing her to have this horrid look on her face. And I started to wonder, is something wrong with her? Like, what's the matter with Scarlett? Why is she looking like that? But she was, I guess, horrified by the smell. It's a wonder they want to be next to me. Lynn says, I wake up and listen to a Virgin River book for 15 to 30 minutes. I have to get into these Virgin River books. So does it go past, well, I guess it does. It must go past what's happening with the series, right, Lynn? Like the first season? Don't give it away. Right, Dawn? So you kind of have to, like, walk away and... Anyway, it was really smelling like a lot of Bengay and muscle rub. But maybe that's how I smell all the time. Bengay. She was like that, Dawn. She was like, oh my God. But she had this when a dog gets a really serious look on their face and they just kind of stare into space and she just kind of like was still, like something is not right. I'm not sure what it is, but something is happening and I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I'm supposed to react to this. What is going on? That's what I picture her saying. So, poor dog. And I don't know what it is with that muscle rub anyway. It makes me feel like I'm in La La Land. I don't really need to have a La La Land feeling. There's worse things to smell like, I suppose, Chris. Right? That's very true. Trish says, I've been using different bath salts at night to help with pain and relaxation. Oh, that's a good idea, actually. Sometimes noise aggravates pain for me. Like the sound of an engine. I was actually just thinking of this morning. That why do engines that are on like lawnmowers and leaf blowers and power washers, you would think that they would have something that could silence the engine sound. Don't you think? Lynn, I'm going to look into those books. You would think that they would have something that can silence it. If they can put if something can be put on a gun to silence the sound of a gun, then why can't that happen to an engine type thing? You know, little things you think about. All right, so I just wanted to go over that with black so it would be a little bit brighter. And what I could do is, I wonder what's going to happen if I go over this. See, Chris is laughing. I bet you're thinking that now, aren't you, Chris? Chris is probably thinking, I kind of think that could possibly be a good idea. Let's put some blue around the background here with some dots. Just to kind of random dots. And I'm holding it loose, so sometimes it gets like a little bit of a tail to it. It obviously is a problem with those noises of those engines if people wear noise canceling headphones while they're using them, right? So wouldn't you think that the rest of the world should also benefit from having no sound? It's crazy things. The ones they have for chronic pain and fatigue, soothe and sleep, balance and calm. What are we talking about, Trish? Relaxing bath salts. I'm sorry. Dawn says, I have an air purifier running in my bedroom that drowns out most other noise. Oh, I wish. I'm going to call you Niall Crane from Frasier. Yeah, I wish that nothing drowns out sound for me sometimes, you know? Sometimes it's just like an annoyance. All right, this one is sherbet, and I'm going to kind of go back over some of these areas here where the kind of the white is, I guess. And then I'm going to take some yellow. Where's my yellow? So Judy Esbin did not make a comment back when I was trying to tell her about what she needed to do next. I don't know. Is Judy still Judy, are you still watching? Has anyone tried marijuana to help with pain and sleep? Do you mean like marijuana, like the actual like street drug, or do you mean like CBD products? Like a medical type thing? I have not. So I'm using this yellow color just to kind of make this, give it kind of a glow. And then I'm going to use it around my letters also, just around them, not really on top of them, but just kind of around it. I don't know if you can see the difference it's happening. I will try that. This apartment building is noisy. Well, does anyone use earplugs? I'm afraid that the earplug will get stuck in my ear. Does anybody else have that fear? Non-CBD. I don't know if people want to admit to that while they're here on Facebook, Alexandria, but that is a good question. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have said it. I'm just saying maybe people don't want to say that. But it's legal in a lot of places. So that looks kind of cool. I wanted to give it that interesting little glow. I have to get rid of something here. Okay. The government is going to make a fortune in taxes. No kidding, huh? It used to be my dad's. He had to buy every gadget under the sun, thinking it would make him feel better. I use it because I'm being allergic to dust. Oh, the air purifier. I used to have a air purifier that it was, I think I had bought it on like QVC or something. And I used to have to pull out, it didn't have a filter that you had to replace. Instead, it had a filter that would like these, they were called fins. And you had to just take them out and wash them. I kind of missed that air purifier. It was very quiet though. It didn't make any noise. When I stay at my daughter, she wears earplugs because I snore. I feel like I don't know if I would be able to stand the earplug actually in my ear. Okay, so this is today's page, bolding technique. We got on another and kind of interesting that we're talking about what we don't want to listen to or what we do want to listen to, considering that this says I never want to forget how your voice sounds. So that is today's page. So let's see what we've done so far in this book. Let's do kind of a little bit of a recap because we're kind of far into this book. It's further along than I really kind of realized. And let's see, we did chalk pastels for the very first one. And then we moved on to the pointillism technique, always one of my absolute faves. And then we moved on to textures, which I did with this, by putting masking tape here, and then I put it underneath the page. So that's I saved that template, my masking tape texture making thing. Then we moved on to just a number 2 pencil. Cubism, we had to cut it up. So cubism became kind of just a page hanging around in my book. And then we moved on to Blend and Shade. We were kind of out of order for a little while. We worked on Crayons and Oil. And then we worked on Cats and Kittens. Then we moved on to Warm Colors. These looked really nice when people were putting them up on groups. These looked really, really nice. Oh, that's so nice, Dawn. I have saved messages on my old phone that my dad sent me, so I do not forget his voice. Wow. People should do that all the time. Here's an Autumn Mandala coloring book page. And then this one we did with oil pastels. This was last week's where we did bolding. I used just brown. And monochromatic. Where's my head? And then today we did bolding. So we're like, look at this. We are halfway through. We've passed the halfway mark, I believe. We have, and we have today. This is done for today. We have 9 more color. Can you believe it? 9 more color alongs left for this, and then we'll be done in March. The last one is on March 23rd. So next week, let's see what we're going to do next week. Next week we are working on this page, and we're going to talk about Andy Warhol on this day. With these little itsy bitsy angels. And then we're going to move on to the alphabet, which is the letter O. We're going to move on to that one for just 5 colors. And then, I don't know why we're doing pop art with pumpkins, but this is going to be fun because pop art is all around, really about primary colors. So we'll be moving on to this in February, on February 3rd. February 10th, we'll be moving on to this page, Rolling Stones Gather No Moss. And this one we'll be working on a tie-dye technique. This one, from one of my favorite books, Funky Mandalas, will be Impressionism technique. And then we'll be moving on to these little singing snowmen for stained glass technique. And then this will be a tea stain page. And for this one, we'll actually be talking about this the week before so we can prep this. So this will kind of be almost, not really a 2-part, but we want to kind of prep our page. And then we'll be moving on to this one here in March. It's a Christmas Frenzy page. We'll be working on watercolors. And the last one, this will be doodling on March 16th, but the letter O will actually be our last one. So we're like halfway through. There will not be a color along the week of coloring camp because there'll be coloring camp. So that's what's happening with that. So if you have not signed up for coloring camp, there's still time to do that. So you can get this book on Amazon at $21.99, and you can join into coloring camp. We've got a great schedule coming up. We've got bling on the first day, layering mediums, how to draw the camp cabin, paper weaving, grayscale photograph, bolding, and disappearing lines for a coloring camp schedule. So each day there'll be a giveaway. Nola Hintz will be giving away I think she's giving away bookmarks. We've got Mary Whitworth giving away paparazzi jewelry. I'm giving away a PDF copy of Chase the Sun, so I've got to kind of change my notes here. Melody Jones will be giving away a handmade journal. That's going to be fun. We've got Black Widow pencils being given away, and Deborah Muller is giving away her new book, PDF copy of her new book called Animals in Love. And then Spira Farben will be giving away watercolor pencils. Dawn says, I am signing up today. Awesome. So supply list is listed in here, and let's just take a quick look at what is here. So we've got different pages for each day of camp. Paper weaving has 2 pages because we're going to color this page, and then we're going to assemble here on the next page. Grayscale photo on this page. This is the page we'll be using for our bolding technique, and this is what we'll use for disappearing lines. 2 copies of every page in this book, so you can do each tutorial twice, or you can share it with a friend or one of your kids or grandchildren. Then it has different activity pages, a coloring page, a challenge, a word search, a word scramble, hidden objects coloring page, a 100 colors challenge. This is going to be a lot of fun. We're working on these different pages throughout the week on different days based on the time that we spend together. Color swatch charts are in this book also, and then each day there'll be a giveaway. So this is fun. If you've been to coloring camp before, you know what it's all about. It's we start promptly at 10 a.m. Eastern time every morning, and then the replays are available in the group. The other thing that's happening is that every Wednesday I have draw-alongs if you'd like to to join a draw along. You can watch for free, but you can get a draw along book to draw along with me. And we had our first draw along the other day, and first we start out with a warm up sketching exercise, and then we jump into whatever the day's drawing assignment is. And on that day, we did this still life contour drawing with a pencil. This Wednesday, on January 15th, we're drawing a finish it mandala, and what you do is you draw what is in this box, you draw in this box, and you just keep going. And you will create this half of the mandala onto the right-hand side. So that's a draw-along. Draw-along books are $15.99 on Amazon, or you can get the PDF copy also on my website. But we're going to be doing things like still life with charcoal. We're going to be drawing a mandala with a template. We'll be drawing some simple flowers. Still life contour drawing again with pencil, and another finish it mandala. It repeats. We do this. This is a book that is happening for 12 weeks. It ends on March 25th. The draw along that is happening on the week of camp will be a pre-recorded draw along. I believe it's this one that's happening. This is the one that will happen during while we're at coloring camp. So this will be pre-recorded, and it'll be posted on the draw along group. So that's what's happening. That is what's happening. Hopefully you can join me on Wednesday, and then I hope that when you buy a camp book, be sure to send me an email or send me a message here on Facebook to let me know, and then I can add you to the group. Thanks for joining me today, everyone. Have a great day today, and hopefully we'll all sleep tonight and not be in pain. Have a pain-free day today, right? Hey, thanks so much, everyone. Have a great day.